You ever hear something so stupid you have to pause and wonder, how is that even real? Well, get ready, because today we're diving into 20 laws in America that actually, truly, still exist. 1. Alabama, the ice cream pocket. Crime. In Alabama, it's illegal to carry an ice cream cone in your back pocket. Yeah, that's a real thing. Back in the old days, horse thieves used to lure other people's horses by sticking something sweet in their pocket. Since stealing a horse was serious business, the state made that weird rule. Fast forward 100 years, and now if you've got a cone in your back pocket, you're technically a criminal. Imagine explaining that one to a cop. 2. Arizona. No donkeys in bathtubs. In Arizona, it's illegal to let a donkey sleep in a bathtub. Sounds oddly specific, right? That's because in the 1920s, a rancher had a donkey that loved sleeping in an old tub. One night, a dam broke and a flood carried the bathtub and the donkey miles away. It took a rescue team to save it, and lawmakers decided never again. So they banned it, and that rule still exists. Arizona. Keeping donkeys dry since 1924. 3. Georgia. No giraffes on telephone poles. Georgia decided to go full circus with this one. It's illegal to tie a giraffe to a telephone pole or street lamp. Who even owned a giraffe? No clue. But someone at some point must have done it because the lawmakers made it official. Now if you've got a pet giraffe, better keep it off the streets. 4. Massachusetts. No hoop. Rolling on sidewalks. In Massachusetts, kids aren't allowed to roll hoops on public sidewalks. Back in the 1800s, children would push metal hoops down the street with sticks. It was noisy and sometimes hit people, so the city said enough. Now it just sounds like the most boring crime ever. What are you in for? Hoop rolling. 5. California. Torrance. Feeding pigeons is a crime. In Torrance, California, you can't feed pigeons in public areas. The city says it's to prevent health risks and mess, but imagine grandma tossing breadcrumbs at the park and getting fined for it. California, where even feeding birds can make you an outlaw. 6. Alabama. No funny mustaches in Church, Alabama again. This time, it's illegal to wear a fake mustache in church if it causes laughter. The goal was to keep worship serious. But imagine explaining in court, "Your Honor, my mustache wasn't funny." Their sense of humor was. Whoever wrote that law clearly had a bad Sunday. 7. North Carolina. Heels over 2 inches need a permit. In Burlington, North Carolina, women can't wear high heels over 2 inches without a permit. The reasoning? Safety. Apparently to avoid accidents during parades. But imagine cops handing out tickets at weddings. Ma'am, those heels are a legal height. Step aside, fashion crimes are real, people. 8. Sunday dancing bans. In several states, dancing on Sundays was, and in a few places still is, illegal. These are old blue laws from religious rules that banned fun on the Sabbath. Imagine being in a small town, hearing your favorite song, and realizing dancing could technically make you a sinner and a criminal. 9. South Carolina. No ice cream sandwiches in your pocket. Not to be outdone by Alabama, South Carolina banned carrying ice cream sandwiches in your pocket. Same idea. Prevent horse theft. But the fact they updated it from cones to sandwiches means someone actually thought, we better cover all ice cream shapes. Priorities, people. 10. Utah. No riding horses in bathing suits. In Utah, it's illegal to ride a horse while wearing a bathing suit. Apparently, it's considered immodest. Maybe it made sense 100 years ago, but today it just sounds like the start of a weird TikTok challenge. Somewhere, there's a sheriff ready to chase down a beach cowboy. 11. California. No honking. After 9 p.m., in cities like Berkeley, you can't honk your horn after 9 p.m. It's meant to control nighttime noise, but imagine you're locked out and trying to get someone's attention. And the cop writes you a ticket for disturbing the peace. Even your car can commit a crime now. 12. South Carolina. No loud nose. Blowing on Sundays. In Pickens, South Carolina, It's illegal to blow your nose loudly on a Sunday. It's another leftover Sabbath rule. Apparently, loud sneezes offend the quiet spirit of the day. Allergy season. There must be a nightmare. Sorry, sir. We'll need to fine you for excessive nasal enthusiasm. 13. Idaho. No selling hair of dead people. This one's both gross and fascinating. In Idaho, it's illegal to sell the hair of a dead person. That means if you find yourself in possession of Aunt Mildred's hairpiece, maybe keep it off eBay. Apparently, grave robbing and wig making was once a real problem. That's one business I'm glad went extinct. 14. Minnesota. Yellow margarine. Bam, Minnesota once banned selling margarine that was colored yellow. Dairy farmers were furious that margarine looked too much like butter, so lawmakers made it illegal to color it. Stores actually sold margarine with a little dye packet you had to mix yourself. Imagine sitting at home stirring fake butter just to stay legal. 15. Ohio. No selling property to drunks. In Ohio, you can't sell land or property to someone who's intoxicated. Okay, this one kind of makes sense, but it's still funny that they had to write it down. Somewhere, a guy must have sold his farm after too many beers, and lawmakers decided to prevent drunk real estate transactions forever. 16. Indiana. No hats in movie theaters. In Indiana, wearing a hat in a movie theater is illegal. The reasoning was to stop people from blocking the view. Logical, yes. But imagine a cop walking down the aisle whispering, "Sir, please remove the cowboy hat. It's against the law." The real crime? Wearing a fedora indoors. 17. Florida. No fishing from cars. In Florida, it's illegal to fish from your car. That means if you're parked near a lake and think, "Hey, I'll just cast out the window," that's technically illegal. Somewhere, a man got way too comfortable and the law had to stop him. Lazy fishing has limits. 18. Idaho, again. No walking backwards after sunset. Yep, Idaho shows up again, this time banning walking backwards after sunset. Nobody's sure why, but some say it was about safety or old superstition. Maybe people thought walking backwards at night summoned ghosts. Whatever the reason, Michael Jackson's moonwalk would have been a crime there. 19. Illinois. No unmarried couples living together. This one's old, but still technically on the books in a few places. Unmarried couples weren't allowed to live together. It was considered lewd cohabitation. Obviously, no one enforces that now, but technically, if you're living with your partner in some rural town, congratulations, you're living in sin, legally speaking. 20. Minnesota, again, no pig greasing contests. Here's one final gem. In Minnesota, it's illegal to participate in a greased pig contest. Yep. Apparently, chasing slippery pigs at fairs was considered animal cruelty, which, fair enough. But somewhere, someone had to write the actual sentence, "No person shall grease a pig." Imagine that being your job. Now, after hearing all these, here's the wild part. All of these laws once made perfect sense, at least to someone. They were meant to solve real problems, from public safety to morality to animal control. But times changed, and the laws didn't. Nobody bothered to erase them. That's how legal systems work. Laws pile up like old junk in an attic. Some get updated, others just sit there collecting dust. And unless someone officially removes them, they technically still count. So yes, in some U.S. estates, you could still be fined for feeding pigeons, dancing on Sunday, or carrying dessert in your pocket. But honestly, that's what makes them so fascinating. They're not just weird, they're little time capsules of how people used to think, what they feared, what they valued, and how seriously they took donkeys and ice cream cones. So next time someone says, "That's against the law," maybe ask them which one. Because for all you know, it might be something about hoop rolling, fake mustaches, or loud sneezing on Sundays. Subscribe for more weird legal stories.